So what are the main benefits of choosing to do baby-led weaning?
So, I mean, from my perspective as a mom of twins and a 4-year-old, you don't have to sit there spoon feeding. When I had my twins, 80 and Max, my mind kind of shifted and was like, wait, how am I going to do this? Like, I'm gonna have to sit between their high chairs and how is this actually going to work logistically? And then, of course, I was much deeper in a path of research on alternatives to spoon feeding, and I'll tell you that story about why. It's all about the independence. I find a lot of moms who follow a Montessori style rearing, prioritizing independence in how they want to raise their child. It really fits with them well. But benefits are, independence. The baby's going to feed themselves. You don't have to actually sit there doing it. From a development perspective, it's like, ask any occupational therapist, and almost all of them are going to say they love baby-led weaning. And in fact, they love it for special needs kids as well, because it forces the child to reach and grab, and all those movements, the pincer grasp, how they're picking things up, bringing it to their mouth, it's a lot of work. And so there's a lot going on to get that done. But the amazing thing is that that's what they want to do naturally anyway. So it's kind of playing off of that natural development. So, huge boost in fine motor skills, huge boost in oral development as well. Something we don't actually talk about a lot, or we don't hear about a lot. And it's kind of the secret that the baby food companies don't want you to know, is this. By 9 months old, every baby, every normally developing baby, should be self-feeding finger food, no matter how you started solids. So we talk about are you going to do baby-led weaning, or are you going to do spoon feeding? We're really talking about a window of 3 months that, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics, they like to see babies self-feeding by 9 months, and they like finger foods to even be introduced as early as 6 months. So, it is in a lot of ways asking a baby to kind of hold back their hands. You try to spoon feed a 6-month-old, many will actually reach for the spoon and try to bring it to their mouths, which we love to see. And we're like, yes, let them, right? That is an indication that they have the motions, they have the sort of cognitive development to self-feed. So, I remember when I was spoon feeding my first born Charlie, because I exclusively spoon fed him and spoon fed him way too long. I was actually kind of like, I hate to say it, but I was pushing his hand away because I didn't want him to make a mess and splatter the perfect organic kale puree that I had made him. And I was kind of holding him back, truthfully. He was ready to reach and grab and bring that to his mouth, but I was like, no, honey, let me put this in your mouth, the tiniest little tip of the spoon, and then clean him up right away, because I was so worried about mess. But those days have changed. So, the primary benefits for me and from my perspective are around development, the baby's development, and just, fostering that independence at an early age.
Yeah. What are the best foods that a baby can start with to start with this journey?
So if we're starting with real food and we're going with the finger food approach, honestly, there is no perfect food, though we do have guides and blogs that suggest that, mostly from a nutrition perspective. But from a development perspective, honestly, things like a mango pit with a little bit of fruit still on it, it's a great teether. It's really hard. They can't bite through it. Really increases the jaw strength. A corn on the cob with some corn shaved off is also terrific, but so is a banana, or honestly, even a whole banana is fine. I love ribs for babies because it's just kind of like this, natural size for them to grasp onto. 6 months old hold things like this. They don't pick things up with their fingers yet. They just kind of grab with their whole fist, and often 2 fists, and bring it to their face like that. And so ribs, they can kind of suck on the meat and just munch on it. It's going to be the most beautiful 15 minutes you ever had to yourself. I always tell my husband, if we need a quiet dinner. It's like ribs and corn and a mango pit for dessert.
Awesome.
It's an amazing 20 minutes, just like complete silence, which is really rare in our house. From a nutrition perspective, you cannot beat sockeye salmon. It is truly one of the best fish in the sea in terms of nutrition, the omega fatty acids. Canned sardines are crazy good for babies. As is chicken liver. And I know that a lot of Americans are like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. It's so smelly, but it is like, you want a really good 12-month checkup and have that iron up where it needs to be. That's exactly the kind of stuff you want to be feeding them. So really nutrient dense foods, fish, chicken liver, eggs are great, and avocado. Everyone loves avocado for babies. It's soft, it's delicious, it's fatty, super good for them, and you can have the other half for yourself on toast.
I love it. That's awesome. That's super helpful too for, the moms watching are always kind of wondering how they can get started and what foods are best.